All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you and welcome. Good evening. Thank you all for showing up, and specifically wanted to thank the folks who are hosting us here at the DoubleTree. This was very nice of them to let us use this facility free of charge. Also recommended the local eating establishment Coolahan's, where you are invited to meet and discuss other politics outside of this room when the event has come to a close. This event has been organized by the Front Royal Warren County Chamber of Commerce. And thank you. And we also wanted to give thanks out to Mike McCool for recording this for the Royal Examiner. And once again, thanks to all of you for submitting questions for consideration, as well as being engaged and participating in your civic duty. My name is Brett. I am your humble moderator tonight. And tonight I will not be playing favorites. Guidelines for tonight's forum. These events are nonpartisan and meant to educate and inform the voting public about the candidates and their ability to perform the tasks of the office they wish to hold. Audience members are asked to hold applause while candidates are speaking. Outbursts and yelling from the audience will not be tolerated. Add to that, if you're going to interrupt the candidate, that's just going to give the candidate more time to speak, so please be respectful. We encourage everyone to show respect to both the candidates and the rest of your peers. Again, those who cannot follow these guidelines will be asked to leave. And again, we thank you so much for showing up tonight. The order of opening was determined by coin flip, and each candidate will have 2 minutes for opening statements as well as 2 minutes for closing remarks. The questions asked of the candidates have been submitted to the Chamber of Commerce by the public or developed by the Chamber's Legislative Committee. All questions will be read to the candidates by the moderator. Only questions that are issues-based and relevant to the governance of Warren County and local board, school board will be used. No questions will be allowed from the audience while this is going on. Thank you again for submitting. The candidates that have been up here, they've not been looking at the questions in advance, so nobody got any sneak peeks. Candidates will have 2 full minutes, unless otherwise indicated, to answer each question. Each candidate will also have a 1-minute rebuttal or clarification once all candidates have answered the question. The green light, which is up here for everybody to see, thank you, indicates the candidate has time to speak. The yellow light indicates that the candidate has 20 seconds remaining, and the red light indicates that the candidate's time is over. This is where I get to interrupt you and turn off your microphone. Please don't make me do that. The forum is being recorded by the Royal Examiner and will be available for viewing later. Right now, as we've got some unopposed candidates. I don't believe George Cline showed up. If you wanted to have your 2 minutes, you are absolutely welcome to right now. My apologies, you're incognito. Didn't have your name on your shirt or anything. Good. Stand up, please.
Welcome and good evening. Thanks everybody for coming. I'm George Cline and I am running for the 4th District School Board. Just a few things about me is I attended Warren County Public Schools and graduated in 1987. And I also had the privilege of watching my 8 kids also graduate from Warren County Public Schools as well. I'm currently the president of the Warren County Builders Association. I am the current chair of the Warren County Appeals Board and the vice chair of the Town and Front Royal Property Maintenance Code Board. I served 4 years on the Shenandoah Area Agency on Aging Board as the board of director and served 4 years on the Habitat for Humanity Board of Directors as well, where we also built Bree homes. My agenda as a school board member consists of a few things. I want all our teachers and students and parents to know that I'll be available at all times. I want all our teachers to know that they are supported without labor. I want teachers to also know that if they can bring ideas, policy issues, or anything else to me and be comfortable doing it. I want the parents to also know that I will do everything in my power to ensure they are safe at all times and that they will be taught and supported and given necessary tools as they need. I will also work directly with the Board of Supervisors to understand the needs of the schools, the teachers, and the students when it comes to the budget. I have a plan to expand the Blue Ridge Tech Center. I want to add some classes.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Cline.
Thank you.
I very much appreciate you on that as well. All right. Next up, statement from delegates, and we have Shane Boswell, who is here today. Is also welcome to have full 2 minutes. Thanks very much, Shane Boswell.
Good evening. Thank you to the Chamber for hosting, and thank you all for coming. I'm Shane Boswell, and I'm going to have to go quick. I was raised by small business owners. I was raised by farmers. I enlisted after 9/11, and I've spent my entire life devoted to service. It's been my guiding post all along, and that's why I'm running for District 31. Problem solving and service, I don't do culture wars. I want to draw a clear distinction between myself and the other choice you have in November. Delegate Oates is not here tonight. She's at a fundraiser about 1.5 miles from my house, schmoozing the Richmond insiders. Our community deserves leaders who show up. And when she did show up, she led the first charge attacking Samuel's Public Library and putting politics over families. So we need leaders who will show up and build bridges as well. But since she's been in Richmond, she's voted no on stuff that would actually help us right here in the Valley. She voted no on creating a family and medical leave insurance program that would have supported workers and small businesses. She voted no on expanding broadband access in rural Virginia, holding back our families and entrepreneurs. And she voted no on giving localities the flexibility to set their own hours for early voting sites, making it harder for folks that commute back and forth over the mountain to cast a ballot. Over and over and over and over again, she said no when leadership mattered. I know a different path. I want to empower neighborhoods to restrict dangerous pass-through traffic off of 81 and off of 522. I want to streamline trade licensing so skilled workers can get to work without years of red tape and protect your data from being sold off by bad actors. The campaign's about solutions, not spend. It's about showing I'm listening, taking notes, and putting service first. That's what live here, work here, and grow here means. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Boswell.
Very much appreciate you both taking the time to speak. It makes a huge difference to show up, and that is absolutely 90% of success right there. So we are moving on to our first forum. This is for the school board, and this is for the Happy Creek seat. If our candidates would come on up, we do have water for you. You're welcome to either use the chair or not. Candidates in this forum are running to represent the Happy Creek District. These candidates will serve a 4-year term. The candidates are Sarah Jones, who is gone first, and Joe Stahl, who will be continuing on afterwards as we ask the questions. Are you all seated? Did you want to adjust your chairs as all of that? Yeah, you are good. Well, now comes the fun part. We get to do the microphones, and I do request that you flip them on as needed, because otherwise they might make some static, and we will be gracious with each other so long as we're all nice and friendly. That's what we're all about in Front Royal, right?
That's right.
All right. So, Our first one is a doozy. So it'll take me a moment to read it out. And again, I'm going to ask it first. And Sarah. Oh, yeah. That's the important spot. But let me finish what I'm saying. And then you are correct. We're going to go and do the intros. And again, Sarah, you'll go first on that. As we read the questions, as the questions go along, I'll just say next question. If you need me to repeat it, please do so. So yes, please go ahead and start off with your opening remarks, Miss Sarah.
Thank you very much. Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to be here tonight. My name is Sarah Jones, and I am happy and honored to be here as a candidate for school board representing the Happy Creek District. I was born and raised here in Ward County and actually have lived in the Happy Creek District my entire life. I graduated from Ward County High School and went on to earn my degree in human resources. My husband and I decided to raise our two boys here in Ward County. They both also attend Ward County Public Schools. As both a parent and a proud graduate of Ward County Public Schools, I am deeply invested in the success of our students, our teachers, and our schools. I am running because I believe education is the foundation of opportunity, not just for individual students, but for our entire community. To build strong schools, we must first invest in and support strong teachers. That means making teacher retention a top priority, ensuring fair and competitive pay, and providing meaningful professional development that helps educators grow in their careers. When we support teachers, we strengthen the learning environment. And when we strengthen that environment, students thrive. Our school division is currently facing real challenges, and we must be honest and transparent about those challenges. Budget constraints, staffing shortages, and academic pressures. These are difficult issues, but I believe they can be solved if we listen to one another and work together. I want to build trust between the school board, parents, teachers, and the community by being open, collaborative, and student-focused in every decision I make. My goal is simple: to ensure that every student in Ward County has the opportunity to learn, grow, and succeed in a supportive and academically strong environment. I am committed to leading with care, integrity, and determination, and I believe together we can build a school system that our entire community can be proud of. Thank you, and I look forward to tonight's discussion.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Jones. Mr. Stahl.
So, good evening. I'd like to thank DoubleTree and especially Chamber of Commerce, perhaps the funnest Chamber of Commerce I've ever met. But this is great. You guys all came here. This is important. This is probably the most important aspect of Warren County's future is our children. So it's important to get this right. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a servant as well. I've served my whole life. I've been blessed to be married to the most wonderful best friend I've ever had, Susan, for 30 years. We have 12 children together. We've also served in the foster parenting. We've had 10 of those children, and that's a blessing. If you guys ever have an inkling, I think that's something you should do. And the community needs foster parents. We've adopted 2 of those children as well, and they are huge blessings. I have a 33 and 3/4 years of military service with the United States Air Force. I'm a retired colonel. Had amazing opportunities. I taught there. My life has basically been teaching, learning, education background. So I taught 14 years in the United States Air Force teaching people how to fly. They would then graduate and go on to fly the bigger airplanes. I've also had about 12 years as a combat pilot, which makes me sleep well at night, knowing that I saved hundreds of women and children's lives. And the United States Air Force is doing amazing things that you don't hear about out there. During my Air Force career, I've built amazing teams that made up of airmen with diverse backgrounds, and we won every mission. I was an officer that dealt with multi-million-dollar budgets. And as soon as we got out, we beat feet to get here. So I'm sorry I wasn't here to graduate, but if duty called, we are here now. I've been here as our 5th year, and we just love the Shenandoah Valley and the individuals here. And other qualifications are I love teaching, learning, and just happy to be here. So thank you all.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Stahl. Okay. And do you all have pens if you need them? Take notes, things of that nature? Excellent. So, Ms. Jones, the first question is to you. Given the complex responsibilities of a county school board member, will you, if elected to complete, Will you pledge, if elected, to complete the recommended certified training courses within your first 12 to 18 months of office? These trainings cover key topics such as powers, responsibilities, community planning, and the role of budget.
Thank you. Of course, I definitely would pledge to taking any mandatory classes or suggested classes, but I'm also happy to look into additional classes that I could take to further expand my knowledge on the school board, our student system, the state of Virginia laws and policies that are required of our school board members to be knowledgeable in order to run and maintain the school system properly. Making policy is not an easy feat. I know that we use a lot of assisted programs, and of course we have guidelines from the state of Virginia. But anything that I could do to train myself better, to learn more, I'm always willing to do so. I'm passionate about taking on this role. It's something that I don't take lightly. So it's definitely something I would be wanting to look for classes that could educate me on how our schools function, how we can meet the challenges that we're facing and succeed in everything that we do. My number one priority is for every student in Warren County to succeed, for our teachers to feel supported and have the resources they need to teach the students in their classroom. So any training that I could get in that would be amazing for me. I'm a lifelong learner. I'm always looking for new things to learn, and so that is absolutely something I would fully take advantage of. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Jones. Same question to you, Mrs. Saul.
Absolutely. That's a no-brainer for a military guy. We do our prereqs, we get them done early, or the mission doesn't go. So that's going to happen right away. It's not an easy job. There's a lot of regulations involved. You've got to build teams. I think the biggest thing on the school board system is trying to build a team. It's not just this hierarchy body. You've got to work with the superintendent, the parents, and the teachers. You've got to listen to feedback. Your door has to be open, and I fully plan on doing that. I've done that in the past, and my educational background includes coaching sports, men and women and girls in soccer and softball. I did volleyball as well. Did young men, coaching them through basketball and soccer. As I said before, I was an instructor in the United States Air Force for 14 years. Nothing like teaching upside down at 15,000 feet and watching your student learn. If you're a teacher, that's probably the number one thing, at least it was for me, to watch my students learning and grow and see them develop and be able to grasp the material. I've been a homeschool. We homeschool based on our Christian curriculum. Felt that was extremely important, but I've taught at every grade level through high school. And very passionate about how and curriculum use, and I hope I get a chance to talk to you about that. I was an earth science teacher for a private school, high school, and that was very enjoyable. Wherever I go, I'm a team builder. I follow the rules. I unite, and I try to make the community stronger by giving back and bringing people in and listening to diverse ideas. So thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Stahl. Now that we do have a minute to rebut, obviously you are going head to head, but do you have any clarifications that you would like to add to your statement there, Ms. Jones?
Yep.
All right. And anything further to add there, Mr. Stahl?
No, good.
All right. This is going to be a very quick forum. That's all right. Thank you. You've answered things quite well first off. So now that we're moving on, this next question is going to you, Mr. Stahl. And again, continuation if you need to take notes or have a repeat. We've got it here. So what policies would you support to help attract and retain high-quality teachers regarding compensation, benefits, and professional development?
The teachers are our mission hackers. They're the front line. If we don't have excellent teachers, then the students aren't going to learn to where they should be. Right now, we have students, according to the standards of learning, the tests they take annually, we're 1 to 2 years behind where they should be. That Virginia test base is not agreed to by the national testing base. They tested the NAEP from the 4th and 8th grade. They say we're even further behind. So we've got to have great teachers. We've got to give them the resources. Everybody's saying the right thing, I'm hearing. They need more money, and we need to have a fiscal budget as well. Going off topic a little bit, I've seen some of the candidates. One candidate, I believe he's here, Mr. Turnmeyer. Excuse me, sir, I didn't tell you I was going to say this, but I really like the fact that he's going to grab money from visiting people who love to visit our Shenandoah Valley. We do need another resource after having the EDA scandal, after having hospitals not paying taxes. We need another source. We've had 2 major increases in taxes, but our teachers do need more money. So we also need to back them. They need to have orderly in the classroom. They need to be respected, and the administration needs to back them at every place. And if there's behavioral issues in the classroom, those students are crying out for different ways of learning, and we need to help with that. But they need to be able to do that in the classroom elsewhere where they can learn at their best, and the teacher and the students that are there can learn it their way as well too. I've got ideas on curriculum, and try to bring that up in another question, but that would help our teachers as well.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Stahl. Ms. Jones, same question.
When it comes to policies to help recruit and retain our teachers, we do need to work on, I don't know if those can be put into policies, but we need to have equitable and fair compensation for our teachers. We are way behind the national average. Our teachers are really struggling to get by. They should not be choosing, what bill they're going to pay this month. And I know that many of our teachers have second jobs. That is really stressful on them. This job is a stressful job to begin with, and then for them to have to take on more hours after work and on weekends just to make ends meet. I can't imagine. That's too difficult for them. We need to give them the benefits to support their families. So the sick leave policy we had is pretty good, but our insurance is lacking. So that's something I'm familiar with, working in the medical field as a medical biller and coder for 7 years. I'm very familiar with benefit policies. And so I'd like for the schools to take a deeper dive into other opportunities to get our health insurance from. I think we need to create new exit surveys and do more in-person interviews with teachers that are choosing to leave us. Creating safe spaces for them to express why they're leaving is one of the most important things that we can do. I know our HR department is great, and I want to let them do what they do best and help them support our teachers in every way that we can. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Jones. Would you like to add anything to clarify on previous statements, Mr. Stoltz?
No.
All right. And anything extra, Ms. Jones? Okay. Moving right along to tie into that question, and Ms. Jones, this is going to you first. What attributes do you believe are essential for a successful and productive school board member, and how would you handle disagreements with other board members, as we know we won't get along all of the time?
I think school board members need to be collaborative. I am a person who understands that we all have diverse opinions. Actually, having a more diverse board is better for making decisions for the wide range of students that we have. We have a very diverse county. And so I think having a diverse board with many different opinions is the best way that we can make the best decisions for our students and teachers. So I think we need to, as a school board member, I would try to understand everybody's point of view It's really important that we hear each other out in every circumstance. Everybody's going to have a different point of view on something. And I've prided myself as always being a person who can listen and understand everybody's point of view. So when we can do that together, I think that would go a long way. If so, school board members, an attribute should be they should be able to listen to one another and communicate effectively in a positive manner. Just not engaging in negative communication is something that I would do. It's not necessary for the board to speak to each other in a negative way. School board members, as a school board, they need to come up with a set of goals for our district and use those goals to guide them in the decisions that they make. That would go a long way. I think that a board can come up with positive goals that they can all agree on for our students and our teachers. And that would be the best way for them to focus on the needs of our district and communicate effectively and make policies to reach those goals.
Thank you, Ms. Jones. Mr. Stahl, same question.
Thank you. I don't necessarily agree with the way the question was worded because of this. We don't get along all the time. I think it's better to say we disagree, and it's our disagreements that make us better. When we listen to each other, different opinions, we can find a better option. It does it in our entrepreneur system in the United States in business. It does it in government as well, too. It's when you get nasty, like Ms. Jones said. She correctly said, I agree with her. You don't get nasty back. You have to ignore that stuff. Another thing is don't let your pride get upset if somebody disagrees with you. I can't tell you how many times in the United States Air Force politicians would disagree on stuff, and we're at the end of the whip. All they want to do is the mission and have a clear mission with authority, and politicians tend to get in the way. If we're on the school board, we need to act like adults, and we need to do what's best for the students. With the curriculum, I wanted to add, so when I was in Warren County Public School 101 this past year, I noticed we have one of the fastest growing counties in the United States. It grew over 1% last year for population. You would think the school system enrollment would be going up as well. It's not. It's actually going down. And some of the ideas last year were to maybe find one of the private schools that's going on business and try to get their students in it. I don't think that's the winning ticket. I think we need to have a product that people want. When they come here, they want to come here for the school system as well. And we have to change our curriculum. We started under Glenn Youngkin. What happened is about a bunch of years ago, we've been teaching poorly curriculum. We've been teaching this whole language reading recovery. What they did is they took phonics and they threw it out the window. This science of reading that Youngkin is bringing back is a phonics-based system. Nothing charms me more when my kindergarten student or son starts sounding out words at kindergarten, and he sounded out vowelly just because of phonics, and he's not exceptionally brilliant. He's just
All right. Thank you, Mr. Stahl.
Thank you.
Ms. Jones, would you have anything to add to that?
No.
All right. Well, you've got another minute if you wanted to continue your thought, then Mr. Stahl.
Gosh, I've never been allowed to talk so much. So with that curriculum, I think it's already been started. Our school district has started that, and we need to continue it. So what I will do as a school board member, I will oversee that is implemented throughout the schools. Right now, I think we're just starting with K through 4. So if you want to back me up on that, I offer a podcast for you. It's award-winning journalist Emily Hanford, and it's called Sold a Story. And you'll see how we kind of been betrayed by people who came in from out of a country to sell us this, and we jumped on it. I don't necessarily believe everything that comes out of our Department of Education or Virginia Department of Education. I think we need to put Virginia values on what they say and Warren County values to make sure it's what we want.
All right. Thank you. The next question, you get the first response to Mr. Stahl, and it ties into the previous responses you both did. So this question, how will you address concerns about the quality of education and student achievement specifically here in Warren County?
It's amazing. Quality of education is what I've been just talking about, but we also have students who are doing brilliantly. They're well above average. They're taking an AP course, advanced placement courses, and they're coming out with college credits. They have advanced diploma as well, and so you need to encourage that. As far as learning, I've learned in my years in teaching, everybody learns differently. I've never met anybody who learns the same. Some like to read books, some like to listen, some like to look at pictures. That's me. Some like to have a demonstration, and there's about 8 other ways. You know, you start in a classroom. Think about it. We start in a classroom, we start learning, and we're taught to. We're talked, and then regurgitate on a test, and we've had that knowledge. How do we keep it? I don't know. Do you guys remember what Miss Johnson had as a 4th grade geology? I don't. What we need to learn is how to learn, and that's the most important thing. And when kids come to school and they get distracted and make noise and goof around, they're not being challenged, or they're not learning the way that they need to learn. I would open up our window, our prism, to increase our ability with the resources to learn in different ways. And so our job is to make sure our children are best educated, and there's a number of ways to do that, and that's a very good question. It's a passion of mine.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Jones, same question.
In order to address student achievement and education quality here in Warren County, we need to reevaluate what we're doing. So we can see with our scores that maybe we're not where we should be or where we'd like to be. So we need to reevaluate what we're currently doing. And part of that, one of the biggest issues with a student achievement, I think, is our retention rate and recruitment. We cannot keep new teachers. So over the summer, I spent a lot of time, I actually met with each and every administrator of all the schools. We sat down and had discussions about what's going on in their school, what they need to help their students succeed. And something that most of them said was that we need to keep our teachers year over year. We train these teachers. We have an amazing support system for our new teachers. Our intro programs for our new teachers is something that administrators from other districts have said is unheard of. They've seen nothing like the support that we give our new teachers. But we need to do better to retain them so that we have that stable environment for our curriculum. When we have to retrain every year, it makes it more difficult on all of our educators. Our students deserve highly qualified educators who have the support from the school board, the superintendent, and the resources that they need in their classroom each and every day. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jones. Mr. Stahl, anything to add?
No, what she said was excellent. What I would add, absenteeism. Why are children not come to school? There's a number of reasons. Some they have family problems, and we need to help with that. Some are bored. Some don't want to be there. If we can challenge them and teach them in their best way of learning, we can trim that absenteeism down. We want our kids to be in school. We want them to wake up and say, I can't wait to get to school. And that can be done. I know it seems like with high schools there's no way, but if you have a school that meets their needs, it certainly will.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Stahl. And Ms. Jones, anything to add?
Sure. Since he brought up absenteeism, I know that the absenteeism, the rate is high. We're looking at about 10% chronic absenteeism, or 10% missed year is chronic absence, which is about 2 days a month. It doesn't seem like a lot, but just that little 10% missed is causing students to fall far enough behind that it's becoming an issue with their academic level. We need to promote safe and healthy learning environments. And I think if we can talk to these parents and create programs where maybe we can mentor them to find out what their needs are, whether it's the student's particular needs or if the whole family has needs that aren't being met. I think that we could do a better job countywide with that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Jones. And would you look at that, a question that leads right back into it. What, and this is going to you, Ms. Jones, first, what is your plan to address concerns about safety, both for the students and the staff? And this includes bullying and discipline in schools.
So as I've been speaking to administrators, teachers, and parents, I have, of course, heard many parents speak on issues of bullying in our school system. I know that we could do better with that. I feel like we need to start with our younger kids, working on our elementary education programs for bullying, teaching kids to communicate with each other effectively, and a little bit on how to control their emotions. Everybody needs a little social, emotional help now and then. So I think our little ones is where we should start with those bullying, those anti-bullying initiatives. If we can educate our little ones on what that looks like and how that feels, I think they're the most receptive of it, and it absorbs better in that environment. I know that safety is a big concern for all parents. It's a concern for me. Every time there is any situation across the country where violence is in school, it makes my stomach churn. It, worries me. I worry about my boys some days. And I think a big part of that has to be the resources. We have to have the financial resources that our schools need for academics, because we can't even look at updating our safety measures and bringing in new safety measures if we don't have the finances to support that. So we need to be able to build on the budget that we have now in order to create the safer spaces that we want for our students so that they can focus on learning throughout the day. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Jones. Mr. Stahl, same question.
It's number one thing, safety. It's absolutely the number one thing. So we've had, I'm not going to get very specific on it. You guys know it. We've had incidents around the country for years. We have to have the ability to secure our doors from external threats 100%. That is, if I'm on board, that will be the number one thing. It goes before anything. Security. I've talked to resource officers, and there are things we probably could be doing better. And I'm not going to get specific again, but and bullying is safety to the kids. It's not just physical safety; it's mental safety. All you bullies out there, it's been kind of fun. Not necessarily anybody in this room, but they get what they want. And so what we have to do, and they've probably been raised poorly and mentored terribly. So the school system still owes them an education. So how do we do that? What we've been doing is we've been keeping them in the classroom, and that's very destructive. If a child is not there to learn, we need to somehow mentor them into a better situation. So that person needs to probably leave the classroom and find a better way for them to learn, because it's not going very well in front of the other kids. People are leaving our schools after being bullied. When I got my signatures, people told me stories, and they removed their children. They went to homeschooling. There's your drop in students. So that would also be a absenteeism problem. If kids don't want, who would want to go to school and get beat up? Right? You're not going to learn anything. I'll be honest, Gen Z has the highest suicide rate, and a lot of it has to deal with what happens in the school systems. I'm not saying a bullying episode is going to make somebody do that, but it doesn't help. So that's our responsibility on the school board to address that, at least make sure the superintendent is.
Thank you, Mr. Stahl. Ms. Jones, anything to ask?
Sure. I do want to mention just on something that Mr. Stahl brought up on the behaviors. We know that behaviors are an issue, and it seems like the easy solution would be to remove those behaviors from the classroom. However, that is illegal in the state of Virginia. We have to provide every student an equal education. So removing those students from the classroom is not an option. We have to educate each and every student. We also have to look at the parents. We cannot put that child in an alternative learning environment without the parents' permission. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Jones. Mr. Stahl, anything more to add?
Yes, if that child is a threat to other children, you 100% can remove them from there. Absolutely.
All right. And this is our nice, easy toss-up for both of you. The first question will be going to you, Mr. Stahl. In your opinion, what are two significant opportunities and two major challenges facing Warren County Public Schools today?
Okay, I'm going to go beyond two, but you asked for two. Safety was my number one, and so we've addressed that thoroughly, and it's my number one as well. Support for teachers, giving them the respect and authority in the classroom is very high on the list. That's what keeps them retained. Teachers have come to me and complained about not having the authority and having behavior in the classrooms. They're unable to teach, many of them, depending on what children are there and how they're acting. And so everybody suffers from that. Pay raise for our teachers, trade school. Oh my gosh, this is a trade school community. I like Mr. Cline's idea, but before we do that, spend a lot of money. I have ideas of increasing our apprenticeship program, which embeds students in local businesses in the entrepreneur zones of Warren County. These businesses would be vetted, they'd be background checked, and the children would be supervised, but they would learn hands-on with professionals who have to fight every day to maintain their business, as opposed to an idea of building a room like this and putting in the machines and not having them see business owners fight to stay alive, to keep their businesses. Huge on improving communication. I'm not exactly sure. I've heard teachers and parents complain about communication, so we need to improve that. I like an online dashboard, maybe improving that, where everybody can go get instant information, where teachers update. Hey, school should be fun. Our new soup, Dr. Martin, is amazing. He tries to make it fun. That's what makes people coming back to school. I believe in fun school. Stopping absenteeism. Kids like their teachers, they want to keep them, and the school board members should help doing that. Smart budgets are important. We've got to screw up the budgets. The current school board needs to do a better job at line item. The superintendent kind of dipped involved there. Mr. Martin's doing a better job at that, and I hope to continue.
Thank you, Mr. Stahl. Mrs. Jones, same question.
Could you repeat that question?
Absolutely. In your opinion, what are two significant opportunities and two major challenges facing Warren County Public Schools today?
So first off, one of our best opportunities is within our high schools. We have some amazing opportunities for students to begin their career and their life goals. We have great nursing programs where students can graduate with a CNA and go straight into earning their LPN or their RN, or they can go straight into working into their career field that they want to go into. That's an amazing program. We have law enforcement programs. Our Grow Your Own programs are great, and we need to expand on those. I think another amazing opportunity here at Warren County Public Schools is our support for our new teachers and the fact that we grow teachers within our school system. So anyone who works at Warren County Public Schools who wants to earn their degree in teaching can work with the schools to earn their degree. The schools will help with tuition reimbursement and help support them in any way they can in earning their degree in education, and then they will hire them here as teachers. It allows them to get hands-on experience in the classroom while they're still learning. So that is a great opportunity that our school system offers for people. We just have to retain those teachers after we've trained them. So retention is a big challenge that we have. We need to look at why that is. We've got to get to the root of the issue. And that's one of the things that I want to do. I want to communicate with our staff, and I want to make sure that we understand what's going on as to why they are leaving. Our FFA and DECA programs are amazing. Those are amazing. We just have amazing opportunities for our students to learn and grow and develop here in Ward County.
Thank you, Ms. Jones. Mr. Stahl, anything to add?
There's always something to add. So extracurricular events and events for the kids to participate in is truly amazing what it does. Kids are formed by mind, body, and soul. It's great to have your mind formed in school and your soul formed on Sunday, but what about their bodies? The Presidential Commission is now doing athletic work now, making sure schools are doing the testing and becoming maybe a little less tech time and a little more sweat time. So I'm all for middle school, if we can afford it, is to increase their abilities to go out and play sports or extracurricular events, and they should be able to decide what they want. Of course, it gets approved. I talked to Michael Schomburg. He was really big on JROTC, and if this community supported, I would be too, and I would do what I could to help with that. That's the kids who want to serve civically, and so that's very important. I wanted children of Ward County to be taught to think big.
We are time limit on that.
How to love their country.
And we are now on to our closing remarks. And as determined by our coin flip, Mr. Jones, you have 2 minutes. You get to go first. Thank you.
So as we're wrapping up the discussion here tonight, I want to make my intentions for our school system clear. I'm running for this seat because I believe every child in Warren County deserves better opportunities and a fair and meaningful education that will truly prepare them for the future. My only goal is to see our schools and our community thrive together. To do that, we must ensure our budget supports not just today's needs, but also the long-term success of both our students and our teachers. A strong school system depends on a strong teaching staff, and that means we must prioritize teacher retention, fair and equitable pay, and resources necessary for teachers to succeed in their classrooms. Recruiting passionate, qualified educators is important, but keeping them here is equally critical. When teachers feel valued, supported, and respected, our students benefit most. We need to work to strengthen the relationships between the school board, the board of supervisors, and our community, so that we are working together, not apart. We must prioritize transparency and open communication with parents so they are fully included in the decisions that affect their children. I am the best choice for this position because I am deeply committed to Warren County. I volunteer regularly at school events. I'm active in the PTO. I serve on the Modified Calendar Committee, and I serve as a board member for the Warren County Sheriff's Department PALS program. I completed the very first Warren County Public Schools 101 program, which took a behind-the-scenes look at all the departments that come together to make our school system function. Along with keeping me active in community programs, these experiences have given me a first-hand understanding of both the challenges we face and the opportunities we can create. With your support, I will listen, I will lead, and I will work tirelessly to create schools that our students, families, and this community can be proud of. Thank you all for coming out tonight. I want to thank the Chamber for hosting. This has been a great opportunity for our community. Thanks.
All right. And Mr. Stahl, to you.
Thank you. I again thank you all for being here. I thank Mr. McCool and gang to record this so everybody can see it. I think it's very important, one of the biggest things in our county to be concerned with. I'm late to the county, but I'm working hard to get back into it. Please excuse my absentee in the United States Air Force. And I want to get back. What have I done? I've been an avid supporter of the Front Royal Cardinals, kind of a groupie. I love that fact that we host college students coming from all over the country. I'm active in my church, which is just down the street, the main street. Been to the parades, go to the fair every year. I love LDs and DLs and everything in between. But the biggest way to support the community is by serving on the school board, and that's our future. If you don't know, our children are our future. We probably need to learn that. I was also Warren County Public School 101, and that is more recent. I was just finished in May, and I will use that to my advantage to see what's best for our schools and to lead our county to brighter futures for our kids. And thank you for being here.
All All right, thank you, Mr. Stahl. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that was our school board for Happy Creek District, Ms. Sarah Jones and Mr. Joe Stahl. Please a round of applause for them. Thank you all. And we are getting set up for our second forum this evening. If we can get some new glasses of water. Our Board of Supervisors is up next. And that is Mr. Tony Carter and Mr. Scott Turnmeyer. The order has been chosen by coin flip early on, and Mr. Carter will be speaking first, so we'll give them a few minutes to set up here. And for those of you who are unaware, the restroom facilities are straight out and then straight to your left. All that good stuff. All right, Mr. Turnmeyer, Mr. Carter, come on down. The bar has been set exceptionally high. Yes. All right, and let me know when you are ready, Mr. Carter, since you are going first. And by the way, a round of applause to our timekeeper and keeping notes on clock. Thank you, and thank you to Cindy. Thank you. It's not that she's been looking at her phone all day. She's literally watching the clock. All right, Mr. Carter.
Okay, thank you, sir. Good evening. I would like to thank the Chamber of Commerce and DoubleTree for hosting tonight's event. My name is Tony Carter, and I'm running for the Happy Creek Board of Supervisors. I've been a lifelong resident of Warren County. I graduated from Warren County High School in '78, and at '82 graduated Lynchburg College with a VA degree in history. I married reformer Tina Adler. We have 4 children and 4 grandchildren. I spent 40 years in the insurance industry and was a former principal in Stonewater Carter Insurance Agency. I was first elected to the Fernwell Town Council in 1994 and re-elected in 1998, having served the entire term as vice mayor of Fernwell. In November 2001, I was elected to my first term on the Board of Supervisors as a Republican for the Happy Creek District seat. I was subsequently re-elected to 4 more terms before retiring at the end of 2021. I served in several positions of leadership, including the chair and vice chair. During my 28 years as an elected official, while working with other board members and the citizens of Warren County, our community was able to accomplish many long-standing goals which improved the quality of life for our citizens. Some of the accomplishments: the expansion of the commercial corridor on 522, the expansion of the industrial tax base, creating many new jobs for our citizens, renovation of Bing Crosby Stadium. We built Skyline High School and Warren County Middle School, converted the old junior high to a current Warren County High School, and converted the old high school into Skyline Middle School, and we updated the current elementary schools. We built a public safety building as well as the new public health building and community gymnasium. The new Rivermont and North Warren fire departments were completed during this time. Also, we expanded the Warren County Fire and Rescue Department with more paid firefighters and EMTs. We expanded the park system with the Luray Dog Park and walking trail, community parks, and the creation of Rockland Park. Other public buildings projects constructed were the new Samuels Library and the Villa Avenue Community Center. After serving for almost 28 years in public office, I felt it was time.
All right, thank you, Mr. Carter. Mr. Turnmeyer.
Hi, everybody. I'm Brian Scott Turnmeyer. You'll see on the ballot as Brian. That is my first name. And unfortunately, election make me use my first name. But everyone knows me as Scott. So I grew up in the area. First of all, thank you for the Chamber and DoubleTree and everybody being here. This is very, very important. And I appreciate the opportunity to speak to all of you. I grew up in the area. Now, I'm not Warren County. I'm Rappahannock. I'm Flint Hill. So it's literally 10 minutes away. I grew up on a farm in Flint Hill, went to Rappahannock County. My parents were avid fire and rescue in Flint Hill Volunteer Fire Department for many, many years. So I know that world very, very well. I've been in the IT realm for 20 some years. I've been a commuter going down that road every single day. I stopped doing that because my wife and I a few years ago opened a store that actually has grown e-commerce business. And so now we are now a small business here on Main Street. So I've seen the big enterprise world as well as the small business side of the world. My wife is sitting over there. We've been married for quite a few years now. I'd like to wish her a happy birthday, and we're actually here tonight not celebrating her birthday, so she's got to be supporting me in this one, that's for sure. She has 2 sons. One is a commuter that drives down to Fairfax every single day. The other one is a law enforcement. He's a police officer, a canine police officer in Luray. So I do understand the law enforcement and public safety side of things as well. The school system, I'd like to thank both of the school board individuals for up here talking. It was very, very good. We have a senior that's graduating this year, so she's been through the Warren County Public Schools. We have grandkids that are entering in now. Why am I running? Because we need fresh change. We need money into our government. We don't need to just keep spending. I'm great with spending things. Everybody can spend things, but we got to bring money in to be able to spend those things. So those are some of the things you're going to hear me talk about. I've been labeled as Mr. Tourism because I think that's where we should land.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Sternmeyer. We will now read questions to the candidates. Each candidate has 2 minutes for an answer, and there will be a 1-minute rebuttal or clarification, as you have seen before. Mr. Carter, the first question goes to you. How do you plan to handle homelessness in the county?
We have some very good organizations out there. So it's part of social services, Habitat for Humanity, and a bunch of different ones. There again, I think that's going to be some concern as we feel the effects from national policies impact us on this level. So I would be looking to get advice from some of these organizations and help them. I think in the past with the outside organizations, we had contributed to them to help them become successful. So that's all I have. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Carter. Mr. Sternmeyer, same question.
Yeah, so homeless is definitely a growing issue in Warren County, and as we grow, it's going to become more and more important of an issue. We've got to have partnerships with the nonprofits, with the churches, the community groups, connect people with housing and services. So we have a lot of that right now, but we need to grow that, right? We need to focus on prevention, workforce housing, addiction services, job opportunities. All those are super important, and we have a lot of good people doing a lot of good work on that right now, but they need more funds to expand that type of work, right? Where did the funds come from? Economic development. We don't have the money in the government to pay for all this additional stuff. We have to grow the economy to be able to pay for these additional things.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Sternmeyer. Mr. Carver, do you have anything to add? Go. And Mr. Sternmeyer, anything to add?
Sure, I'll add one more thing, please. Also with the economy, I also want to mention that when that economy grows, you're going to create more jobs for these people that want more jobs. You also have to focus on affordable housing. That's something that we are critically in need of in our county and town environment as well. So that's all part of the project.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Sternmeyer. The next question goes to you first. And given the growing financial challenges our community faces in funding critical infrastructure, projects for schools, roads, and bridges, how will you strategically increase our tax base? Specifically, what is your plan to either attract new businesses to the county or adjust the current tax rate on existing residents to generate the necessary revenue for long-term capital investments?
So make no mistake about it, we're set up right now that there will be a tax rate increase next year. Make no mistake about that. No one's going to tell you otherwise because we have no other way of growing the revenue man right now. We need to change that. My approach is a bifold approach, a two-pronged approach. Primarily is going to be tourism. We have natural assets here that we don't utilize. We're literally at interstate infrastructure, probably the best location in the county to be able to do this. We are 1 hour away from 3 of the most densely populated and wealthiest counties in the entire country, and we need to take advantage of that. Last year in the state of Virginia, visitors spent $35 billion in the state of Virginia. We got maybe 0.5% of that. So there's a lot of market share that we should take, being the gateway to the national park, being mile zero to the national park. Now, my second prong, and if you go on my website, you'll see I've got the entire presentation out there about an hour and a half long, where I've narrated how we fix tourism, how we turn it around quickly. The second prong is growing the northern corridor. Continue with that, because we don't want all of our eggs in the basket. We want to be diversified. We want to have a diversified portfolio. But that land is going to run out sooner or later. So that's not sustainable in the long run. But we want that as well. And so how are we going to grow that? We want to be able to do what Frederick County just did to attract a $250 million chocolate factory to their world out there. Their EDA worked with the state EDA to get site readiness done on the areas, to get permitting already fast-tracked through, and made it far more attractive for that company to choose Warren County. That actually allowed the company to come in and build their factory in half the time that it would have been if they had not done that. That's how they attracted the $350 million contract.
Thank you, Mr. Turnmeyer. Mr. Carter, same question.
Obviously, we need to have some more revenue, and tourism is one part of it. I got some figures from the Virginia Tourism Corporation. I think they said roughly $88 million was spent here by tourists last year. And out of that, if I read the figures right, they said about $1.2 million came into with local taxes. That's good. We need to increase it. But I think what we need to do, too, is go back about 30 years ago after Aptex closed. There's a group of guys that got together, and girls, and made it came up the Warren County Economic Development Action Committee, and they looked at tourism, they looked at commercial, they looked at industrial, and they came up with a plan, and they went forward with it. And the one thing that helps, which I think needs to be addressed too, is they had a very good executive director, and he worked with the Virginia Economic Development Partnership, and that helped bring some of the industries in here. We are limited out in the corridor, but there's also a fair amount of land in town, which is Ultimate County, for the Havy Creek Industrial Park and Aptex. So I would like to see us work a little bit more closely with the town as far as economic development when it comes down to it. So the other thing is, as far as tourism, I think in the last 25 years, there's been several studies that looked at tourism, and doing studies, the easy part, implementing it gets to be the tough thing. And what I would suggest too is let's go back and look at all the studies, all the things we've tried in the past. Let's see what works now, maybe it didn't work then, and move forward. There's a lot of potential for this area, for everything. So that's all.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Carter. Mr. Turnmeyer, anything to add?
Yes. So Mr. Carter is right. In 2023, the VTC stated that we did $84 million in tourism revenue. Culpeper County did $76 million. Luray did $111 million. So we're in the ballpark with the counties around us. The difference is they spend 20 times more when marketing their tourism than what we do. So ours is organic. Ours is natural. Just imagine if we turned it around and put money towards marketing. We would take their market share. We would take it. It's so super easy. This is business 101.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Turnmeyer. Mr. Carter, anything to add?
No, I mean, that's it too. Like a lot of these projects they were talking about, for instance, back in the early 90s or so, there was a ski resort that tried to start down the limit. And a good concept. You took an hour and a half off people's travel time to go to Bryce or Massanutten, but it only lasted 1 year. So all these things have potential, but we have to look at them, and we have to find out what exactly is going to be cost effective. So there again, I hope that maybe these committees can start up and start looking at all these things before you go forward. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Carter. And this leads right into our next question, and it is going to be to you first, Mr. Carter, and it is about tourism. As recognized and stated, it is a vital part of Warren County's economy, but its full potential can only be realized through a unified vision. You both mentioned it before, but now is your chance to say what your strategy is to strengthen the collaboration, both with the town of Front Royal to expand tourism beyond its existing attractions, and to ensure economic benefits of visitor spending that are felt throughout the entire community.
Well, again, when tourism first came about in the 90s or whatever, the main thing was that the county had the attractions, the river, the golf courses, the drought. and the town had all the places for people to either eat or stay. That's kind of changed some. I think in the 2015 or so, we could put a two-cent tax on lodge, and the states that we could do bump it up to 5, with the caveat that that extra 3% had to go towards tourism. And I think there's been a couple different alliterations of trying to work together with the town and have a tourism committee. And I think that needs to be brought back. And that's, like I say, volunteers do a great job, but you need somebody in that position that can follow up on the day-to-day activities. So I would hope we could look more closely at that.
All right. Mr. Shermeyer.
I wish I had more than 2 minutes, but okay. So yes, agreed. As I said on my website, I have the entire plan of what I would do. I was on the tourism committee 4 years ago when the town and county was going together. We were part of the nonprofit. I was vice chair of that organization before the town and county decided to part ways. That has to come back together because there's multiple reasons for this. One is it's marketing. It's all marketing. Front Oil has the brand, Discovered Front Oil. It has the brand. VDOT advertises for us. There is only one Front Oil in the entire world. If you do your Google searches, Google will tell you that 5,000 people every single month on average search for Warren County. 45,000 people every single month search for Front Oil. There is already a brand. That Facebook page, Discover Front Oil, already has 20-some thousand likes. That's your brand. What we need to do is we need to come back together. We have a new town manager now that's eager for this to happen. We have a mature tourism visitor center already on the ground, boots on the ground, doing it day to day. My plan is for us to come together. The county gets the majority of the money from the transient occupancy tax, like Mr. Carter was talking about. That's the 3% from the lodging tax. 2% goes into the general fund. That 3% has to be spent on tourism. So I want some of that money to funnel into the town to run day-to-day operations and marketing. When I'm talking about marketing, I'm not talking about pamphlets and brochures. I'm talking about new age digital marketing, Facebook, Google, the things that we can laser focus our targeting and get much more bang out on our buck. The county should flip into more capital destination projects, sports complexes, attracting amphitheaters. Jiffy Lube Nissan, is about to go out of business. They're selling for data centers. That's a huge market that we could get into. We've got an area where we could build an amphitheater for that. There's no competition. People have to go to DC now.
Thank you, Mr. Turnmeyer. Mr. Carter, anything to add?
I mean, all those things sound good, but there again, it gets back to the cost effectiveness of it. Case in point, the ski resort, that was privately funded. These other things, I mean, they all sound good, but I think it would have to be something looked at to find out the cost effectiveness of it. I mean, if we spend $1 million and we bring in $400,000 a year, yeah, that's worth it. We spend $1 million and we don't bring in anything. Again, I know way back in the day, they talked about putting an ice rink down at the gazebo area. And that never really came out. Again, all these ideas should be looked at carefully and create a path forward for not only now, but also the future.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Carter. Mr. Turnmeyer.
So we should have at least 4 pillars when we think about any tourism decision. The first one is impact to the visitors, impact to the visitor growth, impact to the environment, and impact to the quality of life of our people. Those are 4 things. If you look at top tourism destinations around the country, and tourism can be a full economic driver, just look at the state of Florida. There's a perfect example. Look at the country of Aruba. That is their only economic development, right? So you have to take those 4 things into account. And when you do that, you are making those strategic decisions that Mr. Carter is alluding to. I'm not going to talk about a ski resort because I think we're a little too warm to have a ski resort that actually function. And so that's something that it's not our decision to make. And that was a private equity. That was their kind of thing. But we have to get together. We have to join the town and county back together and do this jointly. That's the only way it's going to work. If not, we're costing ourselves more money by competing for the same customer. It drives the cost per acquisition up.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Turnmeyer. And this next question goes to you. It's a different sort of tourism, one that neither of you yet mentioned. Agritourism is subject to a complex web of legal issues, including zoning, liability, and taxation. which can be challenging for farmers to navigate. What policies will you champion to simplify and clarify regulations for agritourism businesses?
That's a great question. It's a hot topic right now. I'm fully for agritourism, but I do think we have to do it correctly. We have to think about those 4 pillars that I've talked about. A lot of people will be surprised that in the county of Warren, per our policies right now, someone can't even have a pick your own area. Like if we had a pick your own strawberry patch, we can't even have those. They have to go outside of our county for anyone internal who wants to pick our own pumpkins or pick our own strawberries. We can make this a lot easier. We have to be more friendly to these local entrepreneurs that want to bring people into our area. And when I talk about tourism, you're not talking about just a visitor that's coming standing in an overlook on Scotland Drive. If this room right here is tourism, if you have a wedding venue, a wedding event, anything that brings people from the outside of the area into the area is considered tourism. That's considered visitor experiences, right? That's what we're talking about. Agriculture is very huge right now. Like I said, we live 45 minutes to an hour away from 3 of the most densely populated and wealthiest counties in the country. They want to escape the city. They want to get out of the city. They want to experience the country. They want to experience agritourism. They don't know it's called agritourism, but those are the kind of things that they want to experience. They don't want to come and see data centers. They don't want to come and see huge housing divisions. That's what they're leaving behind. I had a couple in our store just the other day. They were from Arlington, and I asked them, if the view changed and we had these kind of things, would you still come? They said, no, we would go farther south. We would go to Roanoke. We'd go to Bristol. We'd go to someplace like that. So these are the kind of things we have to think about when we're making the strategic decision. Agritourism is huge because it keeps our environment looking the way it is, and that's what our visitors love, and that's what we love. That's what I love. I want our area to stay what it looks like. It's going to change, but I would rather we pick our change than have it picked for us.
Thank you, Mr. Turnmeyer. Mr. Carter, same question.
No, I think that's another aspect of some economic growth. As far as agritourism, I think we have small pockets of it right now with either the vineyards or the different farmers that bring people into their community. But then, like I said, you have the farmers market. You also have the flea market. I think to some extent you also opportunity there for the fairgrounds. So I think there are some places to get this started and take off. I agree that bringing people here to pick strawberries or apples or whatever is a good potential benefit to everybody. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Turnmeyer, anything to add?
Yes, thank you. So also I want to bring in the fact that, agritourism is a local buzzword. It's a huge buzzword. People aren't thinking about it when they come out to it, but sports tourism is also another one. I know we're talking about agritourism, but I'm going to caveat into sports tourism. We are a sports town. We are. We have a baseball stadium named Bing Crosby. I played in that stadium, right? So we are a sports town. We just had our Little League go and just do amazing in the regionals, right, and win state. We should be a sports tourism area. We should have places like the Ripken Experience in Myrtle Beach. We should have that kind of destination to bring people into our area. It keeps us looking the way we are, but it goes on our strengths.
All right, thank you, Mr. Turnmeyer. Mr. Carter, anything to add?
No.
All right, moving right along, Mr. Carter, this next question goes to you first. As mentioned, our county is growing in population. And given the critical importance of maintaining and enhancing our public safety, what specific strategies or policies do you propose to ensure sustaining funding for these vital programs, especially in the increasing face of call volumes and evolving community needs?
Yeah, it goes back to just about everything else. It comes down to money. I believe that local law enforcement and the fire rescue, I think they do a great job of managing what they have. And it goes back to as far as where's the money coming from? And it's difficult to place more burden on the individual taxpayer. So that's why we need to increase our tourism, our industrial, our commercial tax base. And again, I know when they had the budget sessions, the sheriff's department comes in, the fire department comes in, they come in with their request. And we always try to fund them the best we could. We could never give them everything that they asked for, but at least try to keep up his speed. Like I said, one of the things that I mentioned previously was we've increased the number of paid fire stations. I think way back in the day it was only Front Warwick, and now I think North Warren, London, Rivermont, maybe Company 6, maybe another one. So we need to do that because as the county population increases, you're also going to wind up running more calls, either fire or sheriff. So it's another thing we have to look at. There's going to be many things that the next ward's going to have to look at. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Carter. Mr. Sternmeyer.
Yeah, absolutely. It's huge. Public safety is absolutely huge. Like I talked about, I come from a family that was in the fire department. My mom was a paramedic. She taught EMT. We've actually certified quite a few of the individuals we have employed here in the county, as a matter of fact. As he mentioned, it all boils down to money. Everything goes to money. Everybody wants more. Now, I'm from the enterprise environment. I'm from very large companies, Amazon Web Services, VeriSign, these big companies, right? In a normal budget cycle, when I've been through hundreds of them, you ask for this much and hope to get this much, right? And you never get what you ask for. That's just normal. It's the way the budget cycles work. It's nothing out of the ordinary. But as far as our fire and public safety goes, we have to get more money. We have to. We're talking about people's lives here. This is, some of the most important things. I'm sure we'll get a question on schools. That's right there too. So I'm going to fall right back to economic development. We have to get more money in. The quickest way to turn it around is tourism. Why is it the quickest? Because to get a new industry up in our northern corridor, the pipeline is about 4 to 5 years. We have nothing in the pipeline. Nothing. So if a company was to come in tomorrow and say, okay, we want to come, you're still looking at 4 to 5 years before you get anything out of that. Tourism, you can turn it around with marketing, and this is dollars we're already spending. The county spent $40-some thousand last year on the website that they're not even using. That website was put up to compete with the Front Royal website, just driving our tax dollars up even more, just wasting even more. We've got to bring our revenue in without taxing us to death. Sooner or later, our taxes are going to go so high that we are not going to be able to afford to live here. And I don't think there's anyone in this room that wants that.
Thank you, Mr. Sternmeyer. Mr. Carter, anything to add?
Just that, the biggest asset we have with fire and the law enforcement are our people. And we have to make sure that we adequately compensate them. Because I know what that's gone on for years. We get somebody that would be a paid person here or volunteer, and then they would go down to Northern Virginia and make more money. I don't blame them. We can't compete with that. We certainly do the best we can and help that out. And as far as the town and the county, there have been times when the town and county work together well. There have been times when they really had her. So, that I think another important thing, too, is to, make sure that the town and county are on the same page. And we help each other and not work against each other, because after all, the town is a part of the county. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Carter. Mr. Sternmeyer.
Yeah, I don't think we give the town and county a choice. I think that's it. We've given them choices too many times, and they've made their decisions to be separate or be together, or be separate or be together. It's the voters that now have the power to say, we want you to work together. We want our taxes to stay lower. We want more money in here. We don't want you to have to make a decision on whether or not you're going to fund the Chesterfield Fire Department or 3 other fire apparatus or anything like that. We don't want you to make that decision. We want you to have the money that you want to pay for the things that we need. That only comes one way, and that's economic development.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Sternmeyer. This next question goes to you first. For decades, Samuels Public Library has served as the county's primary public library, operating as a private nonprofit with a memorandum of agreement for funding from the county. The recent decision to end this funding agreement has raised concerns about the future of library services in Warren County. Do you believe Samuels Public Library should continue to be the county's public library provider? Please explain your position. And if you believe a different model is needed, what specific alternative would you propose to ensure residents have access to comprehensive library services?
I don't think a different motto is needed with the library. The library is a award-winning library. It's a fantastic library. My wife and I used to host our Girl Scout troop there. We were troop leaders in the library, and we've used their services ourselves. I am for the library. I think we should fully fund the library. I think the library board that was put in place by the current board of supervisors should not exist because it's not doing anything anyway, right? Now, I'm not going to get into how we got here because it doesn't matter. We're here, right? But I think we should get there, and I think that the funding should happen. I don't know what it's going to look like January 1st, given the current situations that's happening almost every board member. But yes, I am for funding the library. I am for dismantling the library board. I've always been that way. We do want full transparency over on tax dollars, though. But I want that to start from internal out. We have to look in the government first. We have to make sure that we are cleaning our house up before we go start talking to anybody else. We need to lead by example. We have to, if we're looking at a budget line item and your other buckets are bigger than your line item buckets, you got problems. You need more transparency. You're not seeing the entire big picture, and we want to be able to see the entire big picture. So we have to clean internal first before we even think about outside. I think this was probably handled incorrectly. It went outside first. It seems like it's being picked on. I get it, and I'm for that too. I'm for that not to be the case, obviously. But I think the library does a phenomenal job. I'm behind the library. I'm for funding the library and getting rid of the library board.
All right, thanks, Mr. Sternmeyer. Mr. Garter.
Yeah, I served for almost 28 years in public office, and I felt it was time to step aside and pass the baton to somebody else. However, with the recent events, I, like so many other citizens, homeschoolers, and children across our community, depend on the library. And they witnessed the attempted closure of Samuel's Public Library. And the tremendous waste of time, money, and energy is disheartening, to say the least, especially when there are so many other pressing issues that need to be addressed by our county leadership. For this reason, I decided to come out of retirement to run for the Warren County Board of Supervisors and give the citizens of Happy Creek a clear choice during the upcoming election. It's just, I don't understand it. What it comes down to, I know when the library came to us during the budget session, they would come with their request. More often than not, we didn't give them the full funding, but we came close. And it just, I don't know, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, they tried to go to an outside agency when they didn't own the building. And that was actually what got me involved too. And one of the supervisors said that when we bought the Villa Avenue building, where we could have rented it for another $1 a year until 2027, he said it was kind of malfeasance. And I pointed out, I said, we bought that building for $500,000. We put another $600,000 into it, plus we got a $700,000 grant. So the total cost of the county was $1.1 million. And last time they assessed it was at 2.1. And the visitor center is just another offshoot of the library from the standpoint that was the old library, and it's I believe it's become a tremendous asset. That's where Parks and Rec's house. It's also a lot of different community meeting rooms. So I totally support Samuel's and going back to the way things used to be. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Carter. Mr. Sternmeyer, anything to add?
I think you meant the rec center, not the visitor center.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying, I want to make sure that's what you were saying. Yeah, look at
Avenue.
Right.
Community center.
So we both say the same thing. We both want to fund the library. We both want to get rid of the library board, right? Now it's time for everybody to think. If you're not getting money into your government, how long is it going to be before some of those ancillary items that are not public safety, schools, start being cut because we don't have the money coming in? I'm going to take it right back to economic development. We have to get more money in. The library is crucial. Humane Society, all these other things that we paid for, right? Those things sooner or later is going to be stripped out one by one or cut one by one by one. We've seen it happen all across this country. That's what's going to happen. We need to bring the funding in so we can continue to pay for these things.
All right, thanks, Mr. Sternmeyer. Mr. Carter, anything to add?
No, it's just for point being, like I said, it's first is the library. What's going to be next? So we just need to be able to fund these things and make sure that the money is well spent, which I think it is.
All right, thank you, Mr. Carter. To our next question, this goes to you, Mr. Carter. What attributes do you believe are essential for a successful and productive Board of Supervisors member, and how would you handle disagreements with other board members?
I think one of the most important things, and the reason I lasted as long as I did, because I had good administrators. And they knew what they were doing, and the Board of Supervisors, town council, we understood what our role was. Our role was to set policy, set tax rates, do return or whatever. We didn't get down to minutia and tell the Parks and Rec guy to mow the grass. And if we had a problem, we pass that on to the administrator. So that to me is key. As far as disagreements, I think they should be handled eloquently. We're all going to disagree, and that's fine. And sometimes you find something in the disagreement that you hadn't thought about before. Same thing with working with the public. We have our public hearings and such, and people come up and bring up points that maybe we hadn't considered. But in final analysis, we made this decision, which was always in the best interest of everybody in the county. So, like I said, it just seems like the past 2 years, there's just been a lot of acrimony on the Board of Supervisors. And again, it's just a waste of time, energy, and money when there's a lot of other things that need to be focused on.
All right, thank you, Mr. Carter. Mr. Sternmeyer.
It's all about compromise. It's all about middle ground. It's all about meeting in the middle. When I was in the enterprise world, we never agreed. I mean, my team, when I worked for the company Verisign, we ran .com and .net for the entire world. My team of 12 ran that. You can imagine, if .com went down, I'm on the phone for 24 hours. My wife can attest to it, right? So you have to be able to learn to disagree and find common ground. You can't be on a call when the internet is down and not be able to disagree and come to an agreement, right? We're never going to agree on everything. In fact, I don't want us to. I love engaged conversation. It's what makes this country fantastic, right? We want to hear from the different sides. 5 heads are better than 2, 10 are better than 5, right? Engaged conversation is so important. But it's engaged conversation, but we have to look for that common ground. When we see that common ground, it's our job as leaders to run down that common ground as hard as we can for the good of Warren County. That's what it's all about.
Thank you, Mr. Sternmeyer. Mr. Carter, anything to add?
Just like to say that I completely and totally disagree. No, just kidding. It's just, but no, I mean, it's right. And there again, I mean, I've had a allergic tie of the 3 or 2 vote. And, okay, that issue's done. Let's move on. No grudges. Let's just keep doing that. And again, we do need to work together. And then I don't mean to go back to there either, but that's the same way with the town. I know I think they still have liaison committees to talk about interests of common between the town and the county. So it is a matter of just listening to people and gathering your facts and make the best decision you possibly can.
Thank you, Mr. Carter. Mr. Sternmeyer, something to add?
Yes. So I just want to mention that I am extremely frustrated that the liaison meeting that he just mentioned was actually canceled by our Board of Supervisors literally last month or a few weeks ago. It was a perfect opportunity to actually start bringing the town and county back together again, because I am pretty sure that there was tourism on that agenda. And that is what we have to stop. We have to work together. Even if we disagree, we have to work together. We have to find that common ground.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Sternmeyer. And our last question for the evening will go to you, Mr. Sternmeyer, first. And it ties right into it again. How will you ensure that citizens' voices are heard and that the Board of Supervisors is accessible and responsive to the community?
Well, being a techie guy, I'm connected 24/7, so that's pretty easy with me. But also, you might notice that I've been doing live Q&As on social media. I've been trying to get to the people and give them more avenues. We need more feedback loops from our constituents, right? I just, brainstorming one day, I thought about creating a Facebook group strictly for Happy Creek individuals, that they can have that. And the supervisor can actually come in and have live Q&As. I did it for 30 minutes. I'm doing another one on Sunday. It's great. People can come in, they can ask me a question, whatever they want. People are connected technology-wise these days. And, we just have to increase that ability for them to be able to do that. I'm always available by phone. I'm always available by email. Text me. I got a business on Main Street. I kind of don't want people to come in there when it's kind of like you would understand that one, obviously. But we have to listen to our constituents. We have to get the feedback loop. I've told many people I'm 100% against data centers in our county. But if I'm the one person in Happy Creek and 99.9% of the other ones want data centers, it doesn't matter what Scott wants. I have to vote for data centers because that's what the majority of my constituents wants. That's what I'm representing.
All right, thank you, Mr. Turnmeyer. Mr. Carter, same question.
I think along the same lines too. I mean, the county has a website that could be updated, used better, as far as getting folks to cut in. There you got Facebook, which I got mine Carter for Happy Creek Supervisor, and then email is Tony Carter for supervisor@gmail.com. But part of the problem, I think, too, is everybody's so busy nowadays. And it doesn't take long to get on Facebook or something like that, but we got a large population of our workforce that commutes. And they get up sometimes 4 or 5 in the morning, drive 8, 10 hours, get back. They go to bed and do it all. And then the weekend comes, it's time to do the honey-do list. So I think that there's definitely a need to get more to the citizens. I know in the past for different issues, things like the comp plan and stuff like that, they've actually sent out surveys and tried to get some response along those lines as well. So, no, they definitely need to hear from what people want to say, because you don't want to make a decision and then somebody comes up to you, "Would you think about this?" "Well, no, I didn't." "And why didn't you come to us and tell us?" And the whole thing. So, definitely, we're here to represent the people and do what's best for all the citizens of Warren County.
All right, thank you, Mr. Carter. Mr. Turnmeyer, anything to add?
No.
All right. Mr. Carter, anything to add? Okay. That'll bring us up to our closing remarks as decided by coin toss earlier. Mr. Carter, you have 2 minutes. Closing remarks.
Okay. All right, I'd just like to thank the Chamber and DoubleTree again. I've already listed some of the things that were accomplished during the time I was there. I think the one thing that I do bring, just like the case in point where the one supervisor said it was malfeasance, there's no historical or institutional knowledge. Information's there, but there's been a turnover with senior management, and a lot of people don't know what happened. Obviously, if you had an issue that you did 5, 6, 8 years ago, you want to hope that based on the information you had then, it was going to stand the test of time. But if somebody else comes in there and they don't know what the history was, they'll say, "Well, this looks like a very foolish thing to do." So I think that's the main thing I could bring to the board. The coming election is this November 4th, with early voting beginning on September 19th. I would encourage all the citizens in the Happy Creek District to vote their conscience regarding the future of Warren County. You have a choice. I promise, if elected, to work hard to restore not only Samuel's Public Library to its rightful place in their community, but also make sure that our citizens receive the services they require and depend on. The public schools, fire and rescue, and law enforcement, just to name a few. My mission is to bring transparency and common sense back to the Warren County Board of Supervisors so that our citizens are proud to say that Warren County is a great place to live, work, and play. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Carter. Mr. Turnmeyer, closing remarks.
Thank you. And again, thanks to the Chamber and thanks, Tommy, for being here. I appreciate the time to stand up here with you. This is a crucial time for our county. It's absolutely crucial. We kicked the can down the road for so long. We know that the budget money is not there. We know that. We've got to grow our economy. We've got to protect our taxpayers from waste. There are a lot of waste, and we've got to find that there's not just dollar waste. There's policy waste or procedure waste, I guess you could call it, right? So, there's a lot of things that we are way behind the curve on in the world. And I don't want us to be at the bleeding edge, but we should at least be in the top 30%, right? And that's where you're going to find some savings for tax dollars as well. We have to invest in education. You know, both of the candidates that got up here earlier, how many times did money come up, right? Well, we got to get more money in to be able to give them the money, right? Tennis courts, those things have already been brought up. So we got to address challenges like homelessness and stuff like that. The one thing I want you to know is that I'm a doer. I'm ready to jump in day one. I'm going to get my hands dirty. I know how to do marketing. I know how to do this digital kind of thing, right? I've been on the board of tourism. I've been in those kind of worlds. I can bring a lot to the table, and I want to be able to use my knowledge and my expertise. I want to help, and that's what I'm trying to do, is help. We've got to grow the economy. When you grow the economy, when you grow from the destination-based area, your civic pride goes up. And right now, we need more civic pride. So, like you mentioned, September 19th, that's when the early voting starts. November 4th is a crucial day for Warren County. We've got to stop kicking the can down the road. We got to start thinking outside the box to bring in some new ideas. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Turnmeyer. Can we please get a round of applause for both of our candidates? And once again, we thank all of our candidates who showed up this evening. Thank you to Ms. Sarah Jones, Mr. Joe Stahl, as well as those who are running unopposed. Thank you, Mr. George Cline, and thank you, Mr. Shane Boswell. Much applause to everyone. And absolutely last but not least, thank you to the audience. Thank you for performing your civic duty by showing up and showing respect. As the candidates have said, remember to vote. Early voting begins on September 19th. Election day is November 4th. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.